Taylor Swift has once again become the center of global public attention. Amid widespread rumors suggesting an impending marriage to NFL star Travis Kelce, the pop icon is showing no signs of slowing down professionally. On the contrary, multiple reports indicate that Swift remains firmly focused on her music career, which is currently at one of its most ambitious and productive stages. Speculation surrounding a possible wedding has intensified in recent months as Swift and Kelce have been seen together frequently at public events, including high-profile NFL games. Their relationship, openly displayed and widely covered by international media, has fueled assumptions about engagement plans and long-term commitment. However, despite the growing chatter, there has been no official confirmation from either party regarding marriage. Sources close to the music industry state that Taylor Swift has made no adjustments to her professional schedule. Her global tour commitments, ongoing studio work, and long-term creative projects are reportedly continuing exactly as planned. Insiders describe her current work rhythm as intense, structured, and highly strategic, reinforcing the view that personal rumors have not interfered with her professional priorities. Swift is widely recognized not only as a performer but as a powerful decision-maker within the music industry. Over the years, she has taken increasing control over her catalog, production choices, and business direction. This level of autonomy has allowed her to operate on her own terms, making it clear that her career trajectory is driven by long-term vision rather than short-term public speculation. Industry observers note that Swift is no longer in a phase where she is expected to choose between personal happiness and professional ambition. Having secured both creative freedom and financial independence, she is seen as fully capable of balancing a high-profile relationship without compromising her work. In this context, even if marriage were to occur in the future, it is unlikely to signal a retreat from the spotlight or a pause in her musical output. Her recent performances and record-breaking tour attendance figures further support this narrative. Demand for Taylor Swift's music remains exceptionally strong across global markets, and rumors of upcoming releases continue to circulate among fans and analysts alike. These developments suggest expansion rather than consolidation, with Swift pushing her career forward at full momentum. Notably, Swift has chosen not to directly address the marriage rumors. This approach aligns with her long-standing strategy of allowing her work to speak louder than headlines. By maintaining silence, she avoids amplifying speculation while keeping public focus anchored to her professional achievements. As for her relationship with Travis Kelce, sources describe it as stable and mutually supportive. Both individuals reportedly respect each other's demanding schedules, and the relationship is not viewed as a distraction. Instead, it is seen as a source of personal stability that coexists with Swift's demanding career, rather than competing with it. The broader conclusion emerging from recent reports is clear. There is no indication that Taylor Swift intends to slow down her music career. While wedding rumors continue to dominate entertainment news cycles, the tangible evidence points in a different direction, one defined by expansion, productivity, and sustained influence in an industry where female artists are often framed through the lens of their personal lives. Taylor Swift continues to challenge that narrative. By maintaining unwavering focus on her work amid intense public scrutiny, she reinforces her position as an artist who controls her own story. For now, regardless of speculation surrounding her personal life, Taylor Swift's professional trajectory remains firmly on course, with music still at the center of everything she does. The situation surrounding Taylor Swift highlights a broader shift in how modern pop icons navigate fame, relationships, and professional longevity. Unlike earlier eras of celebrity culture, where personal milestones often signaled a slowdown or redirection of a female artist's career, Swift's current trajectory suggests the opposite. Her presence in the public eye has expanded, not narrowed, even as interest in her personal life intensifies. Market analysts point out that Taylor Swift's brand power has reached a level rarely seen in the entertainment industry. Her tours generate economic impact comparable to major sporting events, while her releases consistently dominate streaming platforms and physical sales charts. This level of influence requires constant oversight, strategic planning, and creative involvement, responsibilities Swift reportedly continues to handle directly. From rehearsals and stage design to contract negotiations and release timing, she remains deeply embedded in the operational side of her career. At the same time, Swift's ability to maintain narrative discipline has become one of her defining strengths. While tabloids speculate about wedding plans, insiders emphasize that Swift has not altered her public messaging or professional cadence. Her social media activity remains selective, her public appearances purposeful, and her artistic output uninterrupted. This controlled approach limits speculation from spilling into disruption, allowing her work to remain the focal point. Observers also note that Swift's relationship with Travis Kelce unfolds in a distinctly modern way. Rather than secrecy or overexposure, the couple appears to operate within a balance of visibility and privacy. Their appearances together are public but not performative, generating headlines without prompting direct commentary. This dynamic allows Swift to exist simultaneously as a global pop figure and a private individual, without one identity eclipsing the other. From an industry perspective, Swift's current phase is often described as legacy building. Having already secured commercial success, critical acclaim, and cultural relevance, her recent moves are seen as long-term positioning rather than short-term gain. Album re-recordings, for example, are not only artistic statements but also structural shifts in artist ownership models. These decisions require sustained focus and long-term commitment, further evidence that her professional priorities remain firmly intact. Fans have responded accordingly. Rather than expressing concern over potential career pauses, much of Swift's fan base views her personal happiness as complementary to her creative output. Online engagement metrics, ticket demand, and merchandise sales show no decline amid the marriage rumors. If anything, interest in Swift's work appears amplified, suggesting that public curiosity about her personal life is feeding, not detracting from, attention to her music. Entertainment analysts also highlight that Swift's situation reflects a generational change in audience expectations. Today's global fan bases are more accepting of artists who lead multifaceted lives, recognizing that personal fulfillment does not necessarily conflict with professional ambition. In Swift's case, this shift allows her to progress without the need for public justification or explanation. Meanwhile, the silence from Swift's official representatives continues to speak volumes. In an industry quick to issue denials or confirmations, the absence of comment reinforces the idea that marriage speculation is not considered a defining issue by her team. Instead, promotional efforts remain aligned with tour extensions, potential releases, and future creative ventures. This alignment further underscores where attention is truly being directed. Looking ahead, industry insiders predict that the coming months will be marked by continued momentum rather than transition. Preparations for future performances, strategic collaborations, and possible new material are reportedly underway. None of these plans indicate a pause or shift associated with personal milestones. If anything, Swift's calendar suggests sustained expansion well into the future. Ultimately, the narrative emerging around Taylor Swift is not one of conflict between love and career, but of coexistence. She represents a model in which a global superstar can maintain emotional stability while operating at peak professional capacity. The rumors surrounding marriage may continue to circulate, but they exist alongside, rather than above. Her professional identity as media attention remains fixed on what Taylor Swift might do next personally. Her actions continue to clarify what she is already doing professionally, building, expanding, and refining one of the most influential careers in modern music history. Whether or not wedding bells eventually ring, the evidence suggests that the music will not stop, the stage lights will not dim, and Taylor Swift's focus on her craft remains unwavering in a cultural landscape eager to frame personal developments as turning points. Swift once again challenges the assumption. Her career, defined by control, intention, and evolution, moves forward on her terms. And for now, amid rumors and headlines alike, one reality stands out above all others. Taylor Swift's commitment to her music remains as strong, deliberate, and central as ever. The ongoing attention surrounding Taylor Swift also underscores how celebrity narratives are increasingly shaped by speculation rather than confirmed facts. In Swift's case, the persistent focus on marriage rumors illustrates the scale of her cultural presence, where even unverified possibilities generate global discussion. Yet, despite the intensity of the spotlight, there has been no measurable disruption to her professional rhythm, suggesting a clear separation between public curiosity and operational reality. Sources within the entertainment sector emphasize that Swift's current phase is defined by consolidation of power rather than transition. She is not repositioning herself for a quieter chapter, but reinforcing structures that allow long-term creative independence. This includes maintaining ownership over her work, overseeing brand partnerships selectively, and aligning every public-facing move with a broader strategic vision. Such an approach leaves little room for impulsive shifts driven by external narratives. Financial analysts have also weighed in, noting that Taylor Swift's economic footprint has expanded significantly over the past year. Her touring revenue, merchandising strategies, and catalog performance continue to outperform industry benchmarks. These metrics are closely monitored by promoters, labels, and partners, all of whom report no indication of slowed output or reduced engagement. In practical terms, this level of activity requires sustained involvement and forward planning, incompatible with the notion of a career pause. The conversation around Swift's personal life has, however, reignited broader debates about how female artists are portrayed at the peak of their success. Historically, marriage rumors have often been framed as pivotal turning points, implying an inevitable shift away from professional ambition. Swift's current trajectory challenges that narrative directly. Her actions suggest continuity, not closure, and reinforce the idea that personal milestones do not automatically redefine professional identity. Media observers point out that Swift's handling of public interest has become increasingly refined. Rather than issuing clarifications or denials, she allows speculation to exist without engagement. This absence of reaction minimizes escalation while preserving her privacy. At the same time, her consistent presence on stage and in the studio redirects attention back to measurable output: concerts performed, records broken, and projects completed. Within fan communities, this approach has been largely welcomed. Online discourse shows that many fans are more focused on potential releases, tour expansions, and creative evolution than on unverified personal developments. The sustained enthusiasm across demographics and regions indicates that Swift's core appeal remains rooted in her artistry rather than her relationship status. Industry veterans also note that Swift's situation reflects a broader evolution in how celebrity partnerships are perceived. Her relationship with Travis Kelce exists within a framework of mutual professional respect, with both individuals operating at elite levels in their respective fields. This parity reduces the likelihood of one career being framed as secondary to the other, shifting the narrative away from sacrifice and toward coexistence. As speculation continues, promotional calendars tell a more concrete story. Planning cycles for major tours, recording schedules, and distribution strategies are typically established months or even years in advance. Insiders confirm that these plans remain unchanged, signaling confidence in long-term continuity. In an industry where even minor disruptions can ripple outward, such stability is a strong indicator of sustained focus. Looking further ahead, analysts suggest that Swift's next moves are likely to reinforce her role as a defining figure of her generation rather than signal a personal pivot. Whether through new music, reimagined live experiences, or expanded creative ventures, expectations remain centered on growth. The absence of slowdown narratives within professional circles contrasts sharply with the speculative tone of entertainment headlines. Ultimately, the persistence of marriage rumors says less about Taylor Swift's intentions and more about the public's fascination with her life. Yet the evidence consistently points in one direction. Her professional engine remains fully engaged. The scale of her operations, the consistency of her output, and the clarity of her long-term vision all suggest momentum rather than pause. In the broader context of modern celebrity culture, Swift's example highlights a redefinition of success on her own terms. She occupies a space where personal fulfillment and professional ambition are not mutually exclusive, and where silence can be more powerful than clarification. By maintaining this balance, she continues to shape not only her own narrative, but also the expectations placed on artists who follow as headlines evolve and speculation cycles repeat. Taylor Swift's career continues along a trajectory defined by intention, control, and expansion. The rumors may persist, but they remain peripheral to the central story, one of sustained creative dominance in an industry that rarely stands still. Beyond the immediate headlines, Taylor Swift's situation is increasingly viewed as a case study in modern celebrity management. Analysts note that very few artists manage to sustain peak relevance while simultaneously expanding control over their narrative, and Swift remains one of the clearest examples of this balance. Her ability to remain professionally dominant while absorbing intense personal scrutiny has become part of her broader public identity. One factor frequently cited is the infrastructure surrounding Swift's career. Unlike many artists who rely heavily on external decision-makers, Swift operates with a tightly coordinated inner circle that prioritizes long-term stability. Strategic planning, risk assessment, and timing are reportedly mapped far in advance, allowing her to move through periods of heightened media attention without reactive shifts. This structural discipline makes it unlikely that personal developments, real or rumored, would derail established plans. Cultural commentators also observe that Swift's current era reflects a redefinition of what longevity looks like in pop music. Rather than retreating after achieving commercial milestones, she has continued to escalate both scale and ambition. Stadium tours, extended set lists, and elaborate production concepts point to an artist still pushing boundaries rather than settling into routine. This context makes speculation about professional slowdown appear increasingly disconnected from reality. The marriage rumors themselves are also being interpreted through a different lens. Instead of signaling an endpoint or transition, they are often framed as evidence of stability. For many observers, the idea that Swift can sustain a high-profile relationship while maintaining relentless productivity reinforces her image as an artist in full command of her life. In this reading, personal happiness is not a competing force but a parallel track. From a business standpoint, Swift's continued dominance has ripple effects across the entertainment industry. Tour promoters, streaming platforms, and brand partners all depend on predictability at her level of operation. Reports suggest that none of these stakeholders have received signals of contraction or pause. On the contrary, ongoing negotiations and long-term commitments imply confidence in sustained output. Media analysts also point out that Swift's silence on personal speculation has become increasingly strategic in an era of constant commentary. By refusing to engage directly, she avoids setting expectations or timelines that could later constrain her. This approach preserves flexibility while keeping attention anchored to tangible achievements rather than hypothetical scenarios. The broader media environment plays a role as well. In a landscape driven by rapid news cycles and algorithmic amplification, high-profile figures like Swift inevitably become focal points for recurring narratives. Marriage speculation, in this sense, functions as a familiar template rather than a reflection of concrete developments. Swift's consistent professional activity provides a counterweight to these narratives, grounding public perception in observable facts. Academic observers of popular culture have noted that Swift's career now operates at the intersection of art, commerce, and social symbolism. Her choices are interpreted not only as individual decisions but as signals about gender, power, and autonomy in the entertainment industry. By maintaining professional momentum amid personal speculation, she challenges long-standing assumptions about how women at the top are expected to behave. Fan engagement further reinforces this dynamic. Concert footage, streaming data, and social media trends indicate that interest in Swift's work remains the primary driver of engagement. While personal news may spark temporary spikes in attention, sustained interaction continues to center on her music, performances, and creative evolution. This pattern suggests that her audience prioritizes output over speculation. Looking toward the future, industry insiders anticipate that Swift's next chapter will likely build on, rather than depart from, her current trajectory. Whether through additional touring phases, new recordings, or expanded creative collaborations, expectations remain aligned with growth. No credible indicators point toward withdrawal or reduced visibility. In this context, the ongoing focus on potential marriage appears increasingly peripheral. It exists as a parallel conversation rather than a defining one. Swift's career, measured in projects completed and milestones achieved, continues to advance independently of conjecture. Ultimately, Taylor Swift's response to intense public curiosity is not articulated through statements but demonstrated through consistency. Her continued presence on global stages, her sustained creative output, and her firm control over professional decisions collectively form a narrative more powerful than any rumor. As public discussion continues to cycle through speculation and anticipation, the underlying reality remains unchanged. Taylor Swift's career is not in transition away from music, but deeply embedded within it. The momentum she has built shows no sign of easing, reinforcing the conclusion shared by industry observers worldwide. Regardless of personal developments, Taylor Swift remains fully committed to her craft, her audience, and the expansive future she continues to shape. As coverage continues to evolve, Taylor Swift's name remains tightly linked to conversations about influence, endurance, and control in the modern entertainment industry. Media analysts increasingly point out that the sheer scale of her career makes any sudden shift, personal or professional, highly unlikely without clear signals. At Swift's level, decisions ripple across industries, from tourism and local economies to streaming algorithms and brand investments. The absence of any such disruption further reinforces the conclusion that her professional trajectory remains unchanged. In recent months, Swift's touring operations alone have demonstrated the complexity of her ongoing commitments. Large-scale productions of this magnitude require months of coordination involving hundreds of crew members, venue contracts, logistics planning, and international scheduling. Insiders note that these operations are not easily paused or redirected, and there has been no indication of cancellation, downsizing, or delay. Instead, the continued execution of these plans signals long-term confidence in sustained performance activity. From a creative standpoint, Swift's momentum also appears uninterrupted. Songwriting sessions, studio bookings, and collaboration discussions reportedly remain active. Industry sources emphasize that Swift is known for working several projects ahead of public release cycles, meaning her current visibility likely represents only a portion of her ongoing output. This forward-looking approach makes it even less plausible that personal speculation would materially affect her creative pace. The broader business community continues to treat Swift as a stable and expanding force. Investment projections tied to her touring impact, catalog performance, and merchandising remain strong. Retail data and streaming analytics show consistent engagement across both new audiences and long-established fans. These indicators are often more reliable than headlines, offering quantifiable evidence of continued relevance and demand. Cultural critics also observe that Swift's handling of public attention reflects a maturing relationship with fame itself. Earlier in her career, personal narratives often dominated media coverage, sometimes overshadowing her work. Today, the balance appears reversed. While personal rumors still circulate, they no longer define the conversation. Instead, they exist alongside an overwhelming body of professional achievement that anchors her public image. This shift is particularly evident in how Swift's silence is interpreted. Rather than being seen as evasive, it is widely understood as intentional restraint. In an era where constant commentary is expected, choosing not to respond can signal confidence rather than uncertainty. Swift's established track record allows her to rely on outcomes rather than explanations, reinforcing her authority over her own narrative. The discourse around her relationship with Travis Kelce also reflects this evolution. Rather than framing the relationship as a potential turning point, much of the analysis now situates it within a broader context of balance. Both figures operate at elite levels within highly demanding professions, making mutual understanding of time, pressure, and public scrutiny a foundational element. This dynamic further weakens assumptions that one career must yield to the other. Media scholars note that Swift's situation highlights a larger cultural recalibration. Audiences increasingly reject simplistic storylines that frame women's success as fragile or conditional. Swift's continued dominance amid speculation contributes to a growing recognition that personal milestones do not inherently alter professional ambition. Her example challenges outdated narratives that once shaped coverage of women in entertainment. Meanwhile, Swift's fan base continues to function as a stabilizing force. Engagement patterns show sustained enthusiasm driven by anticipation of future projects rather than concern over personal developments. Fan discussions frequently center on setlist variations, lyrical analysis, and potential releases, underscoring where attention truly lies. This focus reinforces the idea that Swift's core value remains artistic output. Looking ahead, expectations within the industry remain firmly aligned with continuity. Long-term planning cycles, contractual commitments, and creative pipelines suggest that Swift's career will remain highly active for the foreseeable future. Any major shift would require visible preparation and signaling, neither of which has emerged. As a result, the prevailing assessment across professional circles is increasingly consistent. Marriage rumors, while persistent, function primarily as background noise rather than a defining narrative. They capture curiosity but fail to alter the structural realities of Swift's career. In the final analysis, Taylor Swift's current chapter is characterized by consolidation of influence rather than transition. Her actions continue to reinforce a clear message. Personal life and professional ambition are not opposing forces but parallel dimensions of a carefully managed whole. The music, the performances, and the long-term vision remain firmly in motion. As speculation cycles onward, one constant remains evident across data, observation, and industry insight. Taylor Swift is not stepping away, slowing down, or shifting focus. She is continuing deliberately and decisively to build one of the most sustained and influential careers in modern music history, on her own terms and without interruption. At this stage, the sustained narrative around Taylor Swift reflects not only her individual choices but also the broader mechanics of fame at its highest level. Public fascination with her personal life has become almost cyclical, resurfacing whenever a new detail, real or perceived, enters the media ecosystem. Yet what remains striking is how little these cycles have altered the tangible direction of her career. The machinery behind Taylor Swift, built over years of deliberate planning, continues to operate with precision. Entertainment executives often point out that Swift's position affords her a rare advantage: leverage. She no longer reacts to trends. She shapes them. This distinction matters when evaluating rumors about life-changing events such as marriage. For artists operating without such leverage, personal developments can trigger shifts imposed by labels, sponsors, or publicists. For Swift, the opposite is true. Her influence allows her to absorb speculation without recalibrating her professional course. The global scope of her career further complicates any assumption of sudden change. Swift is not only an American pop star but a transnational cultural force. Her tours span continents, her releases dominate multiple markets simultaneously, and her fan communities exist across languages and cultures. Coordinating such scale requires long-term stability and continuity. Any major redirection would be preceded by clear structural adjustments, none of which have been observed. From a narrative standpoint, Swift's current era is increasingly defined by endurance. In an industry known for rapid turnover and fleeting dominance, her sustained relevance stands out. Analysts argue that this endurance stems from her ability to evolve without abandoning core principles. She adapts sonically, visually, and strategically, but her commitment to authorship and control remains constant. This consistency provides a foundation that personal rumors cannot easily destabilize. There is also a generational dimension to how Swift's story is being received. Younger audiences, in particular, appear less inclined to view marriage as a definitive endpoint or transformation. For them, personal relationships coexist with professional identity rather than replacing it. Swift's trajectory aligns closely with this mindset, reinforcing her resonance with audiences who see ambition and intimacy as compatible rather than conflicting. Media framing, however, often lags behind cultural shifts. Headlines continue to emphasize hypothetical turning points, even as evidence suggests continuity. This disconnect highlights the tension between traditional celebrity storytelling and contemporary realities. Swift's career exposes the limitations of outdated narratives that struggle to account for autonomy at scale. Within the music industry itself, Swift's consistency has become a benchmark. Other artists, executives, and managers observe her ability to maintain momentum through various life phases as a model worth studying. Her approach demonstrates that control over creative and business decisions can insulate artists from volatility, allowing them to navigate public interest without sacrificing output. The relationship with Travis Kelce, viewed through this lens, becomes less of a disruptive force and more of a contextual detail. It exists within a larger framework that prioritizes mutual respect for demanding careers. Rather than prompting speculation about retreat, it reinforces an image of balance, one that aligns with Swift's broader public persona in recent years. Economic data continues to support this interpretation. Ticket sales, secondary market demand, and streaming performance show no signs of fatigue. Brand partnerships associated with Swift remain active and selective, suggesting confidence in her ongoing visibility and influence. These signals, closely monitored by stakeholders, offer a more reliable measure of trajectory than speculative reporting. As time passes, the persistence of marriage rumors without corresponding professional change may itself become instructive. It illustrates how public curiosity can operate independently of actual impact. In Swift's case, the narrative surrounding her personal life appears increasingly detached from the realities of her work, which continues at a formidable pace. Looking further into the future, some industry commentators speculate that Swift's legacy phase may ultimately be defined not by any single milestone but by her sustained agency. Her ability to remain productive, influential, and self-directed across decades challenges assumptions about the lifespan of pop stardom. This long view reframes current speculation as momentary noise within a much larger arc. In this sense, the ongoing discussion about potential marriage becomes less significant than the structural story unfolding beneath it. Swift is building a body of work, a business framework, and a cultural footprint designed to endure. These elements require focus, continuity, and intention, qualities consistently evident in her actions. As media cycles continue to turn, new angles will inevitably emerge, and speculation will likely persist. Yet the pattern established over recent years offers a clear reference point. Personal curiosity may fluctuate, but Taylor Swift's professional direction remains steady. Ultimately, the sustained evidence points to a single conclusion echoed across industry analysis, fan engagement, and observable activity. Taylor Swift is not pausing, pivoting, or retreating. She is advancing methodically, confidently, and on her own terms. The music remains central, the vision intact, and the momentum ongoing, regardless of the headlines that surround her.